All right, so part one was for the ladies. Now part two is for the fellas as we continue to try to be better men, raising up young men, right? I realized that the way that I planned on raising my child, my son, shout out to Unity, before is different than the way that I know that I'm trying to raise him now, right? I had visions before I had a son, like, yo, if the Lord ever blessed me with a son, that was going to be my homie. That's going to be my man. Like, yo, you getting all the shorties or what? Like, what you doing in there? Everybody like my son. That was the way, cardinal mindedly, right? Blind leading the blind. But again, as a child, I thought as a child, but then when I became a man, I put away childish things. I did not know that verse at the time. The way I'm trying to raise my child now is definitely contradictory to everything that I once stood for and ways that I used to be even myself. Same thing that I said about to the ladies. As you're raising your child, fellas, if what you believe and how you're raising your child goes against what God says in his word, who should your son listen to? Should he listen to you or should he listen to the Father? Because just as I said to the ladies, if your child is called by the Lord, one day he will open these pages up and the words will start popping out at him and he will just start digesting his bread and he will start understanding ways and just understanding things that he never was able to understand before. Right? You're either going to be leading him in a direction and make him say, oh, this is what my father was talking about. Oh, okay, now I see why daddy treated mommy like that. Or it's going to be contradictory to what he's reading. And he's going to be like, why ain't my daddy teaching me like that? That's how he supposed to love mommy. Why he ain't showing her that? Listen, we can be the person that our kids learn from respectfully and correctly, or we could be the person that our kids learn from, like, I'll never be like my dad. Either way, your kids are going to learn from you. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself up for her. Two things that stick out to me here. Number one is love. Second thing that sticks out for me right now is just as Christ loved the church, right? So this is challenging me as a husband to not only love my wife, but to love my wife just as Christ loved the church. So in order for me to be able to complete this task as a husband, I must first learn who Christ is. And what did he even do for the church? Like, what is so significant about that? Then I must also understand the definition of love, right? Because the way the world teaches love is so different than what God's design is for love, right? Love is not, hey, yo, bruh, you got your whole life ahead of you. Don't be tied down to one woman now. Make sure you throw a condom on. I've also heard it told before that, yo, it's cheaper to keep her, son. Don't get